Bitcoin champion Javier Milei has just won the president of Argentina. Guys, we're going to hop straight into it. Take a look at this from Bitcoin Magazine. Bitcoin friendly Javier Milei beat his opponent Sergio Massa by over 2 million votes, officially winning Argentina's presidential election. This is absolutely huge. And as you can see from Watcher Guru here as well, pro-Bitcoin candidate Javier Milei wins Argentina presidential election. And we kind of knew this for a little while now. He was supposed to win. They had been talking about him a lot. He is also the first libertarian candidate or libertarian style candidate to win president in, kind of modern history. He has some pretty base takes in my opinion, and I think it's super dope seeing him win. And also we know Argentina has been struggling with inflation for a while now. Inflation I think is up at like 190% in that country, so it's absolutely insane. And it seems like, Javier Milei was the answer. So let's take a look at this from Nick Can't Mine from Bitcoin Magazine as he breaks it down. Let's take a deep dive into this. Javier Milei beat his opponent Sergio Massa by over 2 million votes. And as you can see here, take a look at this. Javier Milei, Freedom Advances, I guess that's their party, LLA, and Sergio Massa, part of the Unity for the Homeland Party. And as you can see, Javier Milei got almost 56% of the votes and Sergio only with 44% of the votes. And as it says here, while Milei has not yet advocated for Bitcoin to be used as legal tender or to hold BTC as a reserve asset, he does have plans to scrape the Argentina peso and replace it with the US dollar. Take a look at this from Watcher Guru. Argentina President Milei plans to replace the peso with the US dollar and shut down the central bank, which, if you know about, as I said before with Argentina's economic situation, it kind of makes sense. Last Monday, the Argentina peso saw its hyperinflation rise to 143% and growing, leave the nation financially ruined and desperate need of change. And early this year, hundreds of Argentinians gathered in support of Bitcoin from the China, blah, blah, blah. So you can see them, form as Bitcoin. Now, this is pretty cool as the new president of Argentina has been very vocal about his criticism of central banking, previously stating that central banking is a scam, a mechanism by which politicians cheat the good people with inflationary tax. After that, he commented on Bitcoin, saying that it represents a return of money to its original creator, the private sector, and that it prevents politicians from robbing you through inflation. So, here's the thing. They have stated, they're basically going with the Fed at this point. They said, fuck it, fuck our own central bank, shit's too screwed up. We're just going to run with the Fed and run off a dollar system. So, once again, as Nick said, Bitcoin has not been declared as legal tender there, but I have a feeling it could happen in the future. I think it's very possible that it happens in the future, and will they buy Bitcoin? That could possibly happen too as well, but you have to remember, if they're going to operate on a US dollar Fed standard, they're going to have to play around with the IMF and the World Bank, and we know the IMF and the World Bank are not too happy with Bitcoin. But maybe he just gives them the finger and says, fuck you, I'm going to put Bitcoin on our fucking balance sheet and all that other shit. So that's really cool. And off this news, Bitcoin actually pumped. So as you can see here, Bitcoin has been pumping. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. As you can see, since that news happened, we got an absolute nasty green wick, sending Bitcoin, above. Actually, I looked at the wrong wick. My bad, guys. Bitcoin pumped actually from around 36K and up to 37K. So a nice little green wick. And I think it's pretty cool, and this is super bullish. So hopefully he buys Bitcoin and pumps our bags. And to our next story, take a look at this. I know you guys all heard about this, but OpenAI fired their CEO, Sam Altman, yesterday. And he's, of course, the founder and CEO of ChatGPT. And then, a little bit later, the co-founder and president resigned following board members firing his CEO, Sam Altman. And then today, OpenAI staff says they will quit if the entire board doesn't resign and reinstate Sam Altman as CEO tonight. Actually, that was last night. I'm looking at this wrong. And then the OpenAI board discussed bringing Sam back as CEO after firing him yesterday. So it sounds like the investors, pretty much what happened was Sam built up a big, large successful company, and then the investors tried to throw him out, which is kind of insane. And it's kind of, raises some questions of why did they fire him? Why? There's a lot of conspiracies regarding some things he's done, and also some conspiracies regarding, AI. Are they gatekeeping something? Did they not want, him to release something to the public? What's the deal? Why did they actually fire him? Did they get hungry? It's very possible they just wanted him out because they got, hungry. But, yeah, I thought that was really, really interesting, and I think they should low-key disclose to the public why this whole thing went down. I think this is pretty important because, as we know, AI is the future and it has a large impact on our lives. So, I think they should tell the public, what the fuck's going on. Like, what the fuck happened, bro? And to our next story, take a look at this. Yesterday, the following companies suspended all advertising on X yesterday: IBM, Apple, Disney, Comcast, Lionsgate, Paramount, Warner Bros., NBC Universal, and the European Commission. Absolute clowns. Classic behavior. And take a look how Elon Musk responded. Elon Musk had this to say on his Twitter. Let me go to it real quick. Right here. He posted this. The split-second court opens on Monday. X Corp will be filing a thermonuclear lawsuit against Media Matters and all those who colluded in this fraudulent attack on our company. And he said their board, their donors, a network of dark money, all of them. Absolute W for Elon. Elon has been putting on for free speech, letting people talk, and letting the conversations that really need to happen. And I think Elon buying X was probably, this might sound a little bit extreme, but when you look back on it, it's probably one of the most pivotal moments in, human history when it comes to free speech and everything. Because if Elon never buys X, then we continue down this route of no free speech and people getting censored, and eventually leads to a very dystopian world that can really never turn back. And Elon, by buying Twitter and turning it to X and letting people actually talk and having conversations that are really important that need to happen and exposing, people, this allows for, the kind of goodwill of the world to sort of come back in, because people have just been bullshitting. The tide is starting to turn where it's going from basically radical left and now kind of back to the based, side, as you could say, or whatever you want to call it. But it's pretty interesting what's happened. As it says here, stand with X to protect free speech. Here are the facts on Media Matters research. To manipulate the public and advertisers, Media Matters created an alternate account and curated the posts and advertising appearing on the account's timeline to misinform advertisers about the placement of their posts. These contrived experiences could be applied to any platform. Once they curated their feed, they repeatedly refresh their timelines to find a rare instance of ads serving next to the content they chose to follow. Our logs indicate that they forced a scenario resulting in 13 times the number of ads served compared to the median ad served to an X user. Of the 5.5 billion ad impressions on X that day, less than 50 total ad impressions were served against all the organic content featured in the Media Matters article. It's pretty ridiculous, and says, here we have a little summary they wrote. X will protect the public's right to free expression. We will not allow agenda-driven activists or even our own profits to deter our vision. Everyone has a choice on X. User and brand control on X is superior to a year ago. 3, data wins over allegations. Media Matters does not reflect the user experience on X. And Elon, we know he has taken a hit financially. Of course, all this money going away from X definitely is not helpful for the actual business side of X, but this was needed in order for humanity to move forward in a positive direction. And it's absolutely beautiful. I stand with Elon Musk. Obviously, I don't agree with everything Elon Musk does, but I don't think we agree with everything. I don't think there's a single person that everyone just agrees with. Everyone always has differences with each other, etc. And I definitely stand with Elon Musk on this. He is doing good things, launching rocket ships, trying to push forward, the EVs and all that cool shit. And at the same time, he's providing a platform for people to fucking talk. And at the end of the day, a lot of people don't realize this, but whoever controls social media nowadays and controls the internet controls the mind. Everybody nowadays is either on their phone, on the computer somehow, or on TV or whatever. And if you're able to control what's being propagated on those platforms, then you essentially control people's minds. Because if people are opening, let's say an example of, I don't even know if we can talk about it, but I think you'll understand what I'm referencing. I don't know if we can talk about it on YouTube, but I think you'll understand what I'm referencing. There's a situation that happened in the last couple of years where people, there's a story that got basically hidden, and what happens is when people, and there were other stories that got propagated that weren't actually true, and then the truth kind of got hidden. Elon Musk exposed to all that, and that what basically happens is normal people who aren't really willing to dig deeper, which is pretty much almost everyone, when they go on social media, etc., they're basically getting a version of reality that's not actually true. Because whatever they see and whatever is on social media and actually allowed to get on there and in people's faces becomes literally reality. That's what happens, because that's what people see and that's what they're digesting, and they don't see the other side. And Elon Musk basically exposed the other side in the truth. So, yeah, that's my little rant about Elon Musk. Shout out Elon Musk. And to our next story, take a look at this. Just in $4.5 trillion asset manager Fidelity files for a spot Ethereum ETF based. Let's fucking go. We know BlackRock recently filed for a spot Ethereum ETF. Now, I personally believe a spot Ethereum ETF probably won't come anytime soon. We still have to get the spot Bitcoin ETF approved first. But I think it's really dope to see this happening. And of course, I do think Ethereum's tech's kind of garbage. But at the end of the day, if a spot Ethereum ETF eventually gets approved, which I definitely think it probably could happen down the line, very likely, it would be extremely bullish for crypto as a whole, and I am a crypto maxi. So I want to see this get approved, and let's send Ethereum to the fucking moon, because if that goes to the moon, then everything else is going to go to the moon as well. Good stuff happening. Things are getting bullish. I'm really excited for 2024. And yeah, guys, that's all we got for this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, and go follow me on X, first link in the description. And yeah, guys, thank you for watching.